Hello everybody out there. I am doing a video on this movie that I watched.
What about, were you always a fan of the genre?
Not really.
Really?
No, to be blunt.
I can't remember when I've seen it, but I watched it again last night. It's called John Carter, put out by Walt Disney, 666 and all that sort of stuff, and Time Warner, and a bunch of different things gone into the production of this movie that was released in March of 2012.
My body is a cage that keeps me from dancing with the one I love.
Our world is dying. Fate has brought you here, John Carter.
My mind holds the key.
You may be the only one who can save us.
And I don't really care if you believe me or if you agree with any of the stuff that I'm going to be just sort of putting out there. I'm trying not to make any statements. I just want to put out some observations, some connections that I think are there. Frankly, the movie is cool. I don't know about all the symbolism, all the Star Wars stuff and all that
When I
stuff.
saw you, I believed it was a sign that something new can come into this world.
When it gets down to it, the movie itself is referencing Babylonian, Sumerian language in the actual background of the story plotline of being able to stargate yourself from Earth to Jupiter or to Mars in this case, and his body needs to remain intact on Earth because while he's there for a certain amount of time, he literally his body needs to stay alive on Earth. That isn't revealed until quite near the end, so you sort of think like it's not really important. But I'm going to go on here. I'm going to show the connection between this movie and the religion of Sumeria, which is at present being sort of deceptively given to people through movies and media and all sorts of different things. So basically, it's not that I see these movies as such a problem, but when anybody might be seeking the truth, had they been programmed with the programming of these kinds of thoughts, they will be much more drawn to stories, other things that would make much more sense to them simply because they're more colorful, rather than the truth of the nature of things, which is just that the earth had an enormous flood. Not many floods, had an ice age at that time. And from what the scripture says, when reading the King James Version, we can see that there's a lot of things having to do with dinosaurs and the change of this earth, which makes for a very truthful explanation that is less theory-based and more of a seeking for the truth base.
And we can find not only descriptions of the Anunnaki, but also depictions. And we can see them in statues, in carvings.
According to Zecharia Sitchin, the Adamu were the first modern humans. They were created by the Anunnaki 450,000 years ago.
So it's not that you're necessarily, pinpointing this is what I believe or don't believe, but when the mind is constantly being bombarded with different directions to go on that, and it seems like many different directions, but when it gets down to it, it's just mammon.
They believed that the gods came down and created them, and they were their slave species.
It's just going back to that materialistic version of worship. What are you going to worship? Are you going to worship the nature that things will grow from the ground, thereby not becoming ignorant to that and becoming dependent on a grandfather nanny state that's taking care of you through benefits and privileges and trust agreements that none of us really understand what we're doing? What gives us the power to write our name? What gives us the power to breathe? all of those things is the same things that makes the grass grow, and the seas rise and fall, and everything is in such an amazingly miraculous order.
Let them be crushed.
Just take a quick note. What is this guy? Is he Gilgamesh, or is the other guy Gilgamesh?
You killed him with one blow. When I saw you, I believed that something new can come into this world.
You are John Carter of Earth?
Yes, ma'am. What happened to this place?
A new power threatens to destroy our
This is the guy we're investigating here. Is he Gilgamesh or the other guy?
city.
That don't look like a fair fight. You are ugly, but you are beautiful. You will fight for us.
At this point in the movie, this guy makes some reference to being the right arm.
Get on. We did not cause this, but this very night, we will end it. I was too late once. I won't be again.
And left the body, and then Jesus got the demons into the pig so that effectively the rebound wouldn't occur. There's actually a quote, "Judge not lest ye be judged." Yes?
Yep.
That should actually be, "Curse not lest ye be cursed." Okay? The Egyptians knew, and these people are magicians. Remember, they're sorcerers, they're into magic. The Egyptians knew that the most powerful spell is a curse spell. But the downside of a curse spell is when it matures, it returns with interest.
Who are you? American. Who are you, sir? Sir. Definitely the South. This will not do at all. God of Earthmen projecting themselves over here, leaping about, causing all manner of disruption. You're third. Thirds are a myth.
Adwa, we'll go on foot.
Yes, sir.
My name is Matai Shan, and I do not exist.
Rise and fall, and everything is in such an amazingly miraculous order that it all does not crumble. It's so very beautiful. But I'm not here to refute aliens or any religious beliefs or anything like that. I am simply here to present my immediate reactions to this video explanation of the Anunnaki and the Sumerians. So if I can show the connection between the languages that are being presented in this movie, maybe you'll be able to understand that should you read the scripture at any time, it will make a lot of sense as to what's really happened over the last 5,000 some odd years and what might be coming and how to protect yourself with the Word. Basically, in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and it was very good. And evil is something that we generate on a daily basis, and demons do possess us, and all those sort of things should you invite it in, just like the vampires. Anyway, so pop culture is pretty fascinating, but don't get wrapped up in it too much. If you want to be able to interpret it, I would suggest the King James Version of the scripture. But you know what? Don't listen to me. Listen to I would say logic. Logic is a good standing point to go forth with. But faith, which is not very can't be used with logic very easily. So faith is sort of the absence of logic, or the understanding of something without the need for the logic behind it. please send me any comments, corrections, and or claims to the comment section below, and enjoy the video.
John Carter, rated PG-13.
So it's all very interesting to see that those beings looked like modern-day space travelers with weird suits. Some of them wore wristwatches, they had boots on, and helmets, and above all, wings, and they were always described or depicted in floating above some quote-unquote regular people.